Hey guys, Brian here, Stogie Review, IPCPR 2017. I'm here with Oliver Nivaud of the United Cigar Group. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. It's been a long week already. The body doesn't recover as well during these trade shows, but happy to be here. But I'm excited to tell you guys about the Dos Hombres Cabinet.
Please do.
So something that we're doing completely different this year. We're relaunching the Dos Hombres Cabinet in two different blends, a Dominican and a Honduran. But something that I'm excited about is that we're bringing the $5 cigar back. So what we've done is every state has a different tobacco tax, so we want to level the playing field. And with every 10-box order that a retailer places, they get their state tobacco tax percentage back in free goods to offset the tobacco tax. So a state like California that's really struggling at a 65% tobacco tax, 67% tobacco tax, we would give them that back in free goods. So as you can see on the boxes, we've actually labeled every box with the single price and the box price. Bringing back the old school, old cigars that used to sell for 9 cents, 5 cents. So we've kind of done that back on the box.
It does have a little bit with that little logo with the 5 in there, except at the dollar sign instead of the cents. So.
Right, instead of the cents. Yeah. So we weren't able to bring it back that close, but we've done as much as we can. So very smooth, easy smoking cigars. You'll know it's a Dominican. You'll know it's a Honduran. There's nothing that's going to overpower you. This is for the person that's smoking the cigar every day.
Great.
Yeah.
What do we have over?
Then we have coming over here. We have our La Gianna line. La Gianna is a 21-year-old brand named after the owner's daughter, and La Gianna is made with a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, and natural wrapper, filled with Honduran filler and binder. Very smooth. Get a little bit of raisin and spice in there. We have the Garofalo. Garofalo is made with Nicaraguan fillers and binders. On the natural, it is an Ecuadorian wrapper, and then on the sun-grown and Maduro, that is a Nicaraguan wrapper. That's available in 6 sizes, 3 different wrappers.
What are we looking at in terms of price points for these?
Price points? We're looking at about $6 to $9 price range.
For both of them?
For both, right in that range.
All right.
Absolutely. Then interesting cigar is the Firecracker.
Yes.
I like to call this one the Commuter. It's a short smoke, 4 3/4 by 50. Has a little wick on it. It has 4 different ligeros: a Pennsylvanian, 2 Dominican, and a Nicaraguan. Ecuadorian Habano wrapper. Lots of spice, but not overpowering. You would think with 4 ligeros it would just absolutely blow the palate, but it's very smooth. Great ash, burns extremely well, and it's a great cigar for that morning commute.
We were talking about that the other day. I don't know if you care to comment, but there's a bit of a familiar appearance to it.
With the wick,
or
on the
the cigar in general and the history of it, because it's been around a while.
It's been around for a long time. So we did have Don Pepin rolling the cigars originally. Kind of, I don't want to say parted ways, but we just went a different direction, and so you can see the familiarity in the band, and so we've kind of switched that to now Jose Dominguez is making the cigar for us, and it's just an incredible blend for that everyday smoke.
How much are you looking at price-wise for those?
Price-wise for this, you're looking at about a $5 retail, 5 to 6 again, depending on states with their tobacco tax.
Okay.
Then we have the Happy Birthday cigar. This we were really filling a void. It's a very smooth Dominican. Customers are coming in looking for a birthday cigar, birthday present for their friends, family, clients. It's a nice 10-pack displayed in glass tubes. It's a very easy sell, very easy smoking cigar for any smoker. Then we have our United line. Now our United line is made with a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, both in the natural and the Maduro, filled with a little Brazilian Matfina and Dominican. Lots of smoke, great burn, very smooth, lots of woody notes to them. Available in 3 sizes, Robusto, Toro, and Churchill, and 2 different wrappers. The 4th size, which, even though I said we have 3, the 4th size is a very unique size. This is a long cigarillo, 6 by 28, hand rolled in natural and Maduro.
Really?
This is a great in-between, hand rolled, great in-between the day cigar. When you don't have time to sit down with, half hour, 45-minute hour, 2 hour smoke, this is a good 15-20 minute cigar.
Very nice.
Great in between. Then the Fleur de Reine. Here we have an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper on the natural and a Connecticut broadleaf on the Maduro, filled with Dominican, Honduran, Nicaraguan on the filler and binder. Beautiful, rich. In fact, I'm smoking that. That's my first one this morning with an espresso on the Maduro. You know, I get a lot of rich, woody flavors. But same on these as far as price points. Looking around the $5 to $9 range.
5 to 9, so all very approachable.
Absolutely. Then we have our Hombre ashtray.
Yeah, you gotta talk about the Hombre ashtray.
So the Hombre ashtray was a creation probably about 12, 15 years ago. I'd spotted something online, a classic old vintage ashtray, and I recreated it to make it more of a cigar-friendly ashtray. When you put the cigar in the foot of the Hombre, it comes out of his mouth. So you know, even when you're smoking alone, you're not smoking alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we have our classic cigar line. Our classic line is available in 4 different wrappers. We have a Connecticut, Cuban, Maduro, and Cameroon.
Okay.
Made by Jose Dominguez as well. Dominican fillers, very smooth, complex. We have a full range from mild to full-bodied. Great cigars for the price points. You're looking around $3 per cigar. Very smooth, complex, and as I said, you have for the mild smoker all the way up to the medium smoker. This one I love to smoke as I'm doing the lawn. Nice, relaxing. Yeah. So at United Cigars, we are the distributors of selected tobacco for Nelson Alfonso.
Okay.
And that is for the Atabey Byron Bandolero. And this year we're launching a few new items, reblended from what they were. The Byron is available in 3 different centuries, so 3 different blends. The 19th century, 20th century, and then we have the 21st century. Now, there are 3 different centuries because Nelson Alfonso's family started the Byron line back in 1850 in Cuba, named after Lord Byron. The family lost the production in the early 1900s, and Nelson picked it back up in the 1990s, reblended it to what he thought the cigar would be. So in the 19th century, a little different blend. All the Byrons use an Ecuadorian wrapper, just different shades. On the 19th century, a little bit of a lot of undisclosed tobacco, but he does use a little bit of Nicaraguan Ligero to bring up the complexity, and a little bit of Peruvian.
So why undisclosed? Is it a proprietary blend or a variety of tobacco, or is it just keeping the recipe a secret?
Keeping the recipe a secret. Nelson, so Nelson has just different tobaccos. He'll purchase different tobaccos. He'll select the tobacco that he wants, and he kind of keeps that undisclosed from us. So that's the 19th century, available in 3 sizes: the Petit Poema, and the Grand Poema. Now the Grand Poema, as I was saying, we do have in a 3-pack tube. However, Nelson again had access to this tobacco that he wanted to use, and this was back in like 2009, 2010. Saw this tobacco, put it through the fermentation process, thought it was absolutely beautiful, wanted to do something with a cigar. Aged it for 2 years, then in January of 2012, he rolled enough cigars to produce 200 boxes. Now that they've been sitting for 5 years, they're ready to come out, and we're introducing it here at the show. They come in a humidified box. 200 count or 200 boxes produced, 25 count humidor.
So you don't have to worry about fitting that into your humidor when you buy it.
You bought a humidor in itself. So yeah, there's value in it afterwards for the customer as well.
So what are we looking at in terms of retail for her?
So it's
per stick versus, obviously the jar is going to be a little different, I would imagine.
Yeah, so with the packaging, it doesn't affect the price of the cigar. Nelson does all the packaging for Habanos SA. So with his background, he wanted something very unique, very luxurious. So he did that with his packaging to match the cigar.
It's all the packaging for Habanos SA.
He does all the packaging for this. So any jar or ashtray. If you look on the bottom of the bottom of the jar or the ashtray, you'll see designed by Nelson Alfonso. Or if it was prior to anything 3 years or before, we'll actually have the Byron logo on the bottom of any Cuban ashtray or jar. So absolutely take a look.
So the price, did we get to the
price points? No. So price points for the Petit Pomas are around the $20 range, and they go all the way up to about $33 per cigar. Then on the 20th century, so around the, I don't want to say the same, but as far as packaging and sizes, on the 20th century we have two different sizes. We have the Londoneses and the Gran Poema. Now, again, named after Lord Byron, who was a poet in London, so you can see the names are correlating to who this gentleman was. The Poema, Petit Poema, and the Gran Poema. Then in the 20th century, he traveled from London to Cuba quite often. So you have the Londoneses, which is a Londoner that would come to Cuba, and the Habanero, which is a Cuban. So on the 20th century, again, he had these tobaccos that he wanted to use. He had enough to produce multiple boxes, but he put it in the blend of the Gran Poema, and then he also made something unique for the Habaneros. So on the Habaneros, slightly different than the two presentation. He removes the Nicaraguan Ligero, stays with the Peruvian, so it kind of softens the spice a little bit, but incredibly complex. Still an Ecuadorian wrapper and the undisclosed tobacco in the filler. But just an absolutely beautiful cigar. Same undisclosed tobacco that is in there.
Process of elimination will eventually get to what it is.
By process of elimination. Yep, down the line. And when you smoke it, when you're picking out the different tobaccos when you're smoking any cigar, you might be able to pick out different things. So leave that completely up to you. But he hasn't shared that with me yet. Once he does,
if you knew, but,
I don't know. If we can always try to ask him and see what happens. He'll start laughing. But the Gran Poema, again, 200 boxes made, box of 25. They are humidors, and I haven't had a chance to even smoke this one yet because he just had it ready for the show. But from what he says, beautiful smoke. We actually had Vartan from Ambassador Cigars that placed an order even before trying it, but smoked the Gran Poema this morning as we were sitting here. This was his first stop. Said it was an absolutely outrageously good cigar. So we're very, very honored for that because he has an incredible palate. So again, around the same price point. We don't have the $20 range on this one because of the two sizes. So around 27 to 33 on the 20th century. On the 21st century, there are two sizes available: the Distinguidos and the Elegante. And again, these two names came from who Lord Byron was. Very well dressed, a distinguished gentleman, and everything that he did was very elegant. The Elegantes. So the Elegantes this year again available in humidor boxes of 25, limited production of 200 boxes. This one is aged for 4 years. So this was rolled in February 2013. Very smooth. He takes out the Peruvian and the Nicaraguan Ligero, adds a little bit of Dominican, Ecuadorian wrapper, lighter shade on the Ecuadorian, so just softens the cigar a little bit. Incredibly creamy, lots of espresso notes, just an absolutely fantastic cigar. And this is around the $33 range.
Okay.
Distinguidos comes in a box of 10, a little more body to that one in the line, but both absolutely beautiful cigars. The Distinguidos in the 21st century, in the 10-count box, is actually Nelson Alfonso Jr.'s favorite cigar.
Okay.
The son of Nelson Alfonso. That's his favorite cigar. So we do have, or will have, ashtrays available. But this ashtray, funny enough, with this one. So Nelson, working out of Spain, we do a lot of teleconference. Well, in his business, he does a lot of teleconference as well. This ashtray, because it was a project that he was working on, was sitting on the back shelf. It was viewed by certain companies, Habanos S.A. They saw it on the back shelf. They asked him what it was. He had to take it down. They said, "We want to see that." Showed it to them. They love the ashtray so much that they want to use it now for their Cohiba launch. Absolutely.
Nice.
So their Cohiba launch. So you'll see this as the Cohiba ashtray coming out soon. You will still see the Nelson, the Byron or the Nelson, designed by Nelson Alfonso logo on the bottom. And then once that's released, then we'll have the opportunity to release it in the Byron line. But you can see his background is very, package oriented, design oriented. He's an artist, not only in packaging but in the way he blends his cigars. Then we have we're launching 5 new sizes of the Atabey. Now Atabey is a 5-year aged cigar. We have the Mysticos that is available to retailers with our show specials.
I'm smoking here.
You're smoking the Delirios.
Delirios.
Okay. Yeah, this is a pre-release of the 5 sizes. Mysticos, Duendos, Beneditos, Spiritus is a Lancero. It just adds to the extension of the Atabey line. Now Atabey is a 5-year aged, fully undisclosed filler and binder Ecuadorian wrapper. The story behind Atabey, Nelson also wrote the book World of Habanos, History of Cuban Tobacco. The Habanos SA and the Cuban government was looking for something better than the Cohiba. So Nelson was doing all this research, and he learned that the Taíno Indians would sit in their circle. And it was a spiritual ceremony. They would share cigars, ask their goddess for help with crops, water. She was the goddess of the Taínos. But while he was doing his research, he learned that the Taíno Indians would blow their smoke to their shaman, their tribal leader, and he was called the Bejique. So he used the name Bejique, but then the Bejique would take all of their prayers and then blow the smoke up to their goddess Atabey. So he used Atabey for his line, and he used the Bejique for the Cohiba. Okay. So he kind of saw it as the Cohiba, Bejique, Atabey. Wanted to use the tier. So, but it's an absolutely beautiful blend. All the tobaccos that he used for all his lines are aged for a minimum of 2 years prior to being rolled. Then after they're rolled, everything's a minimum of 2 years. Atabey's 5. We say 5 because it's 5 to 7, just depending. 5 because that's the minimum age on any of the cigars in the box. That's the brand extension there.
That is a cool idea, but